this morning. It is indeed a pleasure and a privilege for me to introduce her, seeing that I have watched her grow up for several years. This morning's speaker is Kristyn Matthews, and she is a 2011 graduate of Rutherford High School and a recipient of the IB diploma. A 2015 graduate of Florida A&M University with a Bachelor's of Science in Biology. And in 4 weeks will be a graduate health policy and management. She attended Florida A&M under the Distinguished Scholar Award.
Hey, hey.
A fully paid academic scholarship.
Yep.
During her time at FAMU, she had acted as a presidential ambassador, a first-year experienced peer mentor, and most recently served as the Secretary of Future Public Health Professionals. She has goals of working in the area of women and children health, in particularly reproductive justice and school health. Please greet Kristyn Matthews.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have my notes on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I want to say thank you to the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha for inviting me for this occasion. Ms. Jones called me and I was doing my weekly relaxing ritual on a Thursday, and I was laying on my bed watching Little Women Atlanta, and she was like, "Do you want to be the speaker?" And I was like really shocked. Like me, little old me. And then when she said it was April 1st, I honestly thought it was like an April Fool's joke type thing. But clearly it's not. So, my name is Kristyn Matthews, as she said. I'm currently a student at Florida A&M University. I'm about to get my master's in public health, specializing in health policy and management. Leadership is the topic. And I think leadership is a pretty interesting thing. Leadership to me is a subjective term. I don't think there's really a definition or specific trait. Some people might say, oh, leaders are ambitious, leaders have drive. Some people might feel that leaders are simply somebody who's successful, somebody who has money, or somebody who has followers, they're an influencer. It all depends on what you see it as. Some people might see leadership as a role or a title, like you're the president, but you can see our president isn't necessarily a leader. So, I realized in my time at FAMU is a different environment. And if I've learned anything my past 6 years, I think I've learned some do's and don'ts of leadership. And I'm gonna share what I've learned with you guys, okay? We're gonna start with the do's. The first do is do try. We have convocations like numerous times a year at my university. It's like an all-school meeting, and we had a speaker about 3 years ago for homecoming convocation, and she was just talking about the usual thing, but one thing that stuck out to me that she said is that you should always try something, because the worst that can happen is that the situation, the person, life will say no. If that happens, your life will literally continue the way it was going before you did it. So you're not really losing anything, if that makes sense. That stuck out to me because I feel like in human nature, we're wired that we think stuff through our heads and how it's supposed to go. So when it doesn't go that way, or if you think it's not going to go that way, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to be like, no, or I'm scared of failure. My prime example. as I said, I'm about to graduate in like exactly 4 weeks. I'm trying to have a job. I've been applying for jobs every day for the past, I don't even know how many months. And it's easy to get discouraged looking for a job after college because you're like, oh, I have a degree, but then it's like, you need 17 years of experience. 17 years ago, I was like 7 years old. So you can easily look at it and be like, oh, I'm not gonna apply. What I started doing, I don't even care how many years of experience it says anymore. I'm just gonna apply because the worst you're gonna tell me is no. And technically I'm not qualified, so I can't be like, oh. But if they say yes, and I can like sell myself and somewhat, finesse you, I got a job, I'm winning. So trying is necessary. If you want to be a leader, you have to be willing to step out of that comfort zone or step out of what you think is the norm and just do what you have to do to get it done. Y'all get me so far? Yeah. Cool. 2, be spontaneous. Do be spontaneous. Don't feel that everything has to be planned. Don't get me wrong, certain things you should plan out. But don't always feel like you have to plan everything out. It was the summer of 2013, summer 2014. I was in Tallahassee taking summer classes with my friends. I was at my best friend's apartment, and I remember looking at her and saying, I need to film my life because people really would not understand or believe the things that happen to me. Little did I know, there's people out there that film their life, put it on YouTube, and get paid. I put it off for years. When I say years, guys, I got a whole degree, started another degree program, and almost finished before I finally posted my first vlog to YouTube. And I look at people that literally their life is like, they film it, they get paid. Like, you get paid just to live your life. That's great, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm in school because I want to do something other than that, just that, but the side money in college, you need it. If I could go back in time, I would have tried, and I would have been spontaneous and posted those videos of my life then, because who knows what it could have been now. The third and last do is do what you want. One of my favorite songs, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it's one of my favorite songs because the song isn't really that great. It's by Lil Uzi Vert and it's called Do What I Want. I listen to it at least once a day. And I put it on Snapchat at least once a week. And the song repeats about like 30 different times. Now I do what I want. And my friends know me because certain times we'll be doing something, I'm just like, well, now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. They're like, okay, Kristyn, okay, Matt, we get it. You have to, in being a leader, be able to do what you want. People are going to want to influence you. People are going to want to be a naysayer. Oh, why are you doing that? Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that instead. And don't get me wrong, advice is great, but you have to use discretion with your advice. Some people aren't for you. They don't want to see you succeed. Ooh, that sounded so cliche. They don't want to see you be great. So you have to really, literally do what you want. You can listen to people, give them that respect, but ultimately, you have to please yourself because you cannot please everybody. You guys, I know you're in high school and you want to be liked by people. That's human nature. Sometimes you don't care, but deep down, you know you care. So, you have to know you are never going to please everybody. Everybody isn't going to like you, especially when you're a leader, because you have to make decisions that people aren't going to agree with you on. And you have to be able to literally let it roll off your shoulder and be like, well, I did what I want. And then, if you have to, sing the song. So, now the don'ts. First don't, biggest don't compare. Do not compare yourself to the person next to you, because I promise you, you will always be disappointed. Comparison is literally the thief of joy. Let's say you're on Instagram. You post a picture, somebody else posts a picture. About the same time, about the same followers, but they get a bunch more likes than you. And you're like, dang, what did I do wrong? Did I post at the wrong time? Did I post the wrong picture? Did I use the right filter? It's never that deep. It is literally never that deep. It is not worth comparing yourself to. And I've learned in college that sometimes your younger tendencies still come about. In college, people want to be liked. People want to be not necessarily popular, but you want to be in good graces with most people. And you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 32. Don't wish that you were living the life that so-and-so is living, because guess what? You don't know what they went through to get to that life, and that might not be what you really want. I learned that, I think, the hard way. I would see people on my campus, and I'm like, oh, they got this, they've got that. That just, oh, they're living the life. Like, I want to be like them. And then I talk to them, I ask them how they got there, and I'm like, no, you good, you got that. And for students, it's not worth it comparing yourself, because you're in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. If you want to be a leader, you got to look forward. You can't look back. You can't look to the left. You can't look to the right. You need to stay in your own lane. Keep focused. You'll succeed. And for parents of student leaders, please, please, please do not use comparison to somebody else to motivate me. It's annoying sometimes, parents. I know you want to say, like, so-and-so's doing it. You know, you can do it too. I'm not so-and-so. And I'm the type of person that when you tell me so-and-so is doing something, I'm like, okay, that's great for so-and-so. Don't use it as a motivational tool, because it's not motivational. Let's not do that. Second, don't listen. It sounds harsh, but this ties back to not paying attention or doing what you want. You're going to hear so much negativity when you get into a leadership position. When I became an ambassador for my school, my main thing is to recruit students. So we travel, tell people the joys of FAMU, hope they come to FAMU, right? I used to have so many friends, well, so-called friends, oh, why are you doing that? That's stupid, that's lame. But it was like, you were at the interest meeting and you applied to be one too, didn't you? You have to realize sometimes people literally will say something just to get under your skin because they don't have it. People are envious, people are jealous, and you have to, like, literally use your discretion to be like, they're not for me. If you have somebody in your circle, in your squad, that is always trying to bring you down, always being negative, you gotta cut them off. Cut them off, because I promise you, they're holding you back from your full potential. So look at your friends. Might hurt, but go ahead and unfollow them on Instagram. You have to be tenacious, because when people are trying to talk bad about you, it gets to you. Like, sometimes I would go home, I'm like thinking in my, like, I'd be laying in my bed and it would be on my mind. Like, I'd say I don't care, but deep down I'm like, she just said that it's stupid that I'm a peer mentor. I love being a peer mentor. I don't think it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid. But she said it's stupid. That means other people think it's stupid, right? No, it's not stupid. You will literally let it, like, eat you alive. It's not worth it. Once again, for an example of somebody who didn't listen, Steve Jobs. Y'all know who Steve Jobs is, right? Made Apple, right? With another guy that people don't really talk about. But when Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage, his neighbors straight up told him, like, this is stupid. Like, this is not going to be anything. And Steve Jobs probably listened and then was just like, okay, I'm going to let him live. That neighbor is probably looking back like, dang, Steve Jobs made it like a real big thing. He had a chance to invest in this company. That man could have been as rich as Steve Jobs, but he was like, no, it's not going to work. And Steve Jobs didn't listen to him. And that's probably one of the best things Steve Jobs could have done, because that man had a lot of money before he passed. So don't listen to naysayers. Do your own thing, right? My last don't is don't stop reaching. The summer before my senior year of high school, my parents took me to Xavier University in Louisiana, in New Orleans, dropped me off for a summer program. It was called SOAR. I didn't really know anything about this program. My parents made me apply. Our director was this man named Mr. Kendall. And Mr. Kendall's favorite thing to say was to set a bar, and when you reach that bar, set another one. He's like, do this real obnoxious thing where he, like, jump with it. And back in high school, we were just sitting there like, this dude is crazy. But now, y'all, when I say literally, I will not forget him saying to set bars. Like, I'll mentally think in my head, like, oh, I need to set a bar. Like, I reach it, and I mentally see him, like, jumping in my head, like, oh, go, Kristyn, you're doing it. And you have to do that. If you want to be a leader, you have to set goals for yourself. Don't worry about what other people say. Set a goal, then you reach one goal, set another goal, and another goal. No goal is too outlandish. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I think you can learn that from watching TV. Have y'all ever seen the show Shark Tank? Anybody watch Shark Tank? Where people come with like a business idea and they're like, I want you to invest in it. People have some outlandish stuff. One lady had a toilet seat for cats, so your cat can use the bathroom in the house. And it made it on TV. So somebody sees it's like, you know what? That's actually a smart idea. So my cat, I don't have to have a litter box. My cat can use my toilet. So don't let somebody knock you down. If you have an idea and you think that is good, that's literally all you need. We live in the age of social media. So we seek validation from others through social media. Through likes on pictures, comments, I don't know, maybe DMs. You want to feel validated by somebody else, and you have to get out of that, especially if you want to go to college. You will learn in college really quick. Nobody is obligated to validate you, like you, care about you, none of that. It's a dog-eat-dog world. So don't feel that your ideas aren't worth anything, or don't feel like what I'm thinking is stupid or it can't be done, because it can be done as long as you try, right? As I said, try in the beginning, gotta tie it back. In conclusion, being a leader isn't easy. If it was easy to be a leader, everybody would be one. Y'all don't understand, like, it's a really big thing for y'all to be here and be seen as a leader in your community. You might not understand that now, but looking back on it, I'm so glad that when I was y'all's age, I did the things that I did, because it's really groomed me to be the person that I am now. In my program, I'm 23. I'm the youngest person in my cohort for my graduate program. I have classmates that are in their early 30s, mid 30s, and they're like, you've done more than me, and you've led more than me, and I'm 10 years older than you. So you guys starting at the age you're starting is a great thing. Trust me, I know it is stressful. You sometimes don't want to do it because you want to live life, you're young. But trust me when I say it will literally all pay off. All of it will pay off. Break out of your shell, do something different. At my university, because I'm at a HBCU, every year we have elections for like Miss FAMU, Mr. FAMU, attendance, things of that nature. People will spend thousands of dollars to lose. To lose. Like, you bought shirts, you bought buttons, you bought free Jimmy John's for the campus, whatever, and you lose. But guess what they did? They tried. And sometimes those people that lost, they get more out of it than the people that won. So don't think that your drawback or your failures or what you didn't do too good at won't set you up for something greater in the end. You might have an opportunity that pops up because you didn't do so well at one thing. Does that make sense? So, like I said, you know, I don't think leadership is a title. I don't think leadership is a role. But leadership is something within you and the things that you want to make about yourself, okay? So if any of you college, well, soon to be possible college students, you need somebody to talk to, y'all come and find me. You have my number, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. We can chat on there. But ultimately, I've given you my do's. I've given you my don'ts. But leadership, like I said, is more than just a title. So you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do to lead? Thank you.